Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Bufkin over here. Today we're taking a look at the top 10 PvP uniforms you should consider picking up if you're trying to dominate every PvP game mode in Marvel Future Fight during Anniversary. You want to utilize that 50% discount to the best possible value. So yeah, I made this list looking at a few key things: overall PvP consistency, survivability, immortality, revive value, meta relevance across multiple game modes like timeline battle, TBA, otherworld battle, and alliance conquest, and on top of that, just raw impact when built properly. Also keep in mind, PvP in this game changes a lot depending on artifacts, builds, and future tier 4 upgrades. So this is more of a right now snapshot of who is actually worth your crystals in my opinion. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Before we do hit the top 10 though, let's take a quick look over some honorable mentions. First up, in my opinion, Destroyer. A solid reflect tank with niche value in specific matchups when built right. He can cheese certain teams, but overall he's not consistent enough for me to put in the main list. Next up we have Black Widow, decent Giga Dodge PvP option that can work in Otherworld Battle and Alliance Conquest, but she falls off hard without Revive or Immortality in the big PvP game modes like TBA, Timeline Battle, which is why she has limited value, so I'm not gonna include her in the top 10 again. And then yeah, another symbiote character in Carnage. While he does have immortality, I feel like he has lost significant value over time, but yeah, he's still a strong symbiote PvP unit with artifact based immortality, as we all know, but without the help of Agent Venom, he does not find himself in the top 10. So yeah, he does not really shine as a standalone pick anymore, so I'm not gonna include him in the top 10 as well. And then finally we have Mephisto. He has some PvP utility. While he is the best PvE character in the game, he does not have that much of a presence in PvP, but still, having a character who deals so much damage, especially lingering damage, with Revive already in his kit, he is an overall usable PvP character who I think would have been slightly better if he had, better skills and better healing, but it's okay. He does provide you insane value in PvE regardless of the fact that he isn't as relevant in PvP. Also, a quick shout out to the Fantastic Four team. They do deserve a mention here as well. Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic both have solid PvP value, especially when paired up with Franklin Richards' artifact for immortality. That setup can be strong in certain PvP scenarios, but it's still more niche compared to the main metas that I picked myself for the top 10. And also, before we do move into the top 10, I do want to quickly mention we're not including characters like Spider-Man and Doctor Doom in the list because both of those are expected to get strong upcoming uniforms, and not to mention they're both kinda trash right now. I don't want to bait anyone into picking up the more recent uniforms just for them to be replaced in a couple months. There are also plenty of other niche PvP picks you could argue for, but I wanted to keep this focused on the more impactful and consistent options right now. So yeah, moving into the actual top 10 PvP uniforms in Marvel Future Fight, in at number 10, surprisingly enough, in my opinion, we have Captain America. Now, the main reason why I have put him here is because he's very cheap to build. You can pick him from almost every tier 4 selector. So yeah, if you don't have much options, you can always go with him. He's very reliable. He did lose a lot of his PvE value with his most recent uniform. It doesn't really matter because in PvP he is insane, surprisingly. I still can't figure out what the hell is going on with him. He has a very good HP leadership. He does not have Revive or Immortality, but it's still not holding him back from being a problem in like game modes like TBA when you pair him up with the likes of Sentry or whatever. And yeah, he just works hand in hand with other metas and will actually give you very good value early to mid game, and then sometimes even in late game when you do give him like a brilliant egg, brilliant conquest for example. So yeah, our first entry in the top 10 is Captain America. Moving forward, at number 9 we have Deadpool, a strong immortality based PvP character who does especially well against blast type matchups. The main reason why I included him is because I use him to counter Adam, who is much further down in this list. He shines in specific game modes like Alliance Conquest, Otherworld Battle, but outside of that he does struggle to consistently compete with the higher tier PvP threats, but it doesn't really matter because you use him in certain niches where he will give you results. Right after that, we have another mutant addition to this list in Magic, a strong niche PvP character with immortality value in her artifact, and yeah, she gives you solid performance in Alliance Conquest and Otherworld Battle. So yeah, these early few characters, these guys offer value in the lower tier PvP game modes, not necessarily lower tier, but like game modes where a lot of restrictions need to be in play or you need a lot of squad depth. Only a few characters in this game actually offer you consistent value throughout every single PvP game mode. But still, Magic is a very solid character. If you use her properly, you can actually trigger Null's immortality in Alliance Conquest in a lot of cases. In Otherworld Battle, she is almost very consistent whenever she is the best character to pick from there. So yeah, you do definitely need to pick her artifact. Same with Deadpool as well. I did not mention that, but yeah, Deadpool, Magic, characters who have immortality as their artifact, both of them do need their artifacts to be usable in PvP. But yeah, she becomes very annoying stall type character that can drag fights in your favor. And then at number 7 we have Silver Surfer, the king of Reflect. Even if he doesn't always win outright, he guarantees value by taking at least one life in most cases. He's especially strong in auto PvP environments where teams just run into him and melt themselves. So yeah, he is really strong. If you have his artifact, it's added value, but you don't necessarily need an artifact for him. But yeah, if you do pick up this uniform, it has one of the most insane looks in the game. I absolutely love it, and on top of that you get some insane value from him. So yeah, Silver Surfer is one of the characters that offer you value even in game modes like TBA, Timeline Battle, even after being released like 3 years ago. So yeah, one of those consistent picks across the game. And then at number 6 we have Adam Warlock. Now, even though he is slowly falling off compared to the newer monsters, he's one of those more reliable PvP native tier 2s in the game. He shows up in almost every PvP game mode whenever available and still performs well with proper investment. Now, unfortunately, you do need to invest a pretty solid build on him for him to still go toe to toe with the top metas, but even still, he's really good. And given Wolverine is at the peak of his time on this game, Adam is one of those characters that you could use to counter Wolverine, mainly because of the type advantage. So you gotta play around with the counters in this game as it seems. So yeah, Adam Warlock is one of the better PvP counters to one of the better PvP metas in the game. So yeah, Adam is definitely worth investing in. He is pretty expensive, uniform is also expensive, doesn't need an extensive build. So yeah, you gotta keep all of that in mind before investing in him, but he is a very solid PvP pick regardless. Then at number 5 we have Ghost Rider, one of the best hybrid PvP PvE characters in the game. I've already mentioned him in the PvE video. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out in the description. But yeah, with his artifact that provides him with immortality, he has massive PvP value, and not to mention his damage output is already insane. He can shed teams if left unchecked. Versatile, reliable, and one of the best dual value picks in the game. Like, he can actually go toe to toe with the top tier metas. He can trigger immortalities of Null, kill sentries, and yeah, overall is just absolutely insane. He's also very cheap given he is a native tier 1 character. If you get a chance, pick up his artifact, build him up to even PvE level, and you should get some decent value from him in the top tier PvP game modes. And yeah, just absolutely insane that Ghost Rider can do that at native tier 1. Just a unit of a character. At number 4 we have Wolverine, easily one of the most annoying PvP characters to deal with. His artifact immortality makes him extremely hard to kill, and his 5th skill's mobility lets him run down entire teams. Right now, you see him in every single PvP game mode, like it's absurd. He has gained even more value as people have figured out that he performs even better with a conquest. So you will see in the top PvP game modes that he's being used with brilliant conquests to counter native tier 3 characters. So yeah, if you do build a proper team around him, he will most definitely give you pound for pound value that you can't compare to anyone else in terms of PvP. So yeah, that brings us to the top 3 of this list. Our first character in the top 3, we have Null. Still one of the most dangerous PvP native tier 3s in the game. While he is slowly being crept down in the meta, his raw damage, tankiness, and synergy with Agent Venom's support is still making him the top tier threat when fully built. Once he's online, he deletes teams. Like, you will see him in almost every single game mode wherever he's not debuffed or like restricted. However, you do need Agent Venom, his uniform, his artifact, and also a decent level team up collection, which it becomes a hassle at times. Null's ceiling is very high. He can be absolutely insane. And similar to Wolverine, he has found a new life in people using him with the conquest. With a brilliant conquest, he really is a problem in every single top tier game mode or high level PvP. We can now move on to the newest powerhouse native tier 3 with the tier 4 ability, Gang. And number 2, he is absolutely disgusting in PvP right now. Insane damage, insane survivability, and he just feels unfair when built properly. You could honestly argue for number 1 depending on your preference, but right now, in my opinion, he sits comfortably at number 2. Like, he can take on almost everyone in this list, but he is a bit more of a RNG pick. I don't know why, but his kit is very strong, but at times RNG does not favor you when you're using Gang or does not favor Gang teams. So yeah, for that reason, I am just gonna pick him at the number 2 slot. And finally, at number 1, we move on to the king of PvP. Again, in my opinion, Sentry. No surprises here, he's one of the more consistent, safest, and more dominant characters in the game. His survivability is absolutely ridiculous. His damage is explosive, and if you play him manually, I'm pretty sure you won't lose a single game. He's basically an annihilator of PvP game modes. If you want one universal PvP carry, it has to be Sentry. Simple as that. You can also, build him up much cheaper than any of the other native tier 3 characters, and he's just insane. Like, the first character I usually suggest for PvP on any account is Sentry. So yeah, that wraps up my top 10 PvP uniforms you should be looking at right now for this anniversary discount. You could argue some of them, gets their position swapped or whatever, but this again is my opinion. PvP is heavily account dependent. Artifacts, builds, and team compositions matter way more here than in PvE. Your cards also need to be in a very good position for you to be competing with the top tier PvP, so don't expect to just pick up Sentry and expect like him to perform like he is a god for some reason. So yeah, but again, don't treat this like a strict tier list. Use it as a guide for where to invest your crystals smartly. But yeah, let me know down below, what do you guys think, and who do you guys think is the best PvP character in the game right now? Would you change anything in this tier list? Let me know down below. If this video helps you out, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, because I've got more guides coming up. I also stream regularly, so if you guys want to catch the gameplay live, I stream around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you tune in. But yeah, that's it from me guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, take care and